this perma theory of wellness, and what he found was like, it makes people thrive. He was sort of the first person to say, instead of looking at what's wrong with people and how to fix it, what if we look at what's right with people and how to emulate those traits?
If you're an active mom who loves a good glass of wine but doesn't always want to be tied to a kitchen counter, let me introduce you to High Camp flasks. These aren't your average flasks. High Camp makes beautifully designed stainless steel flasks that keep your wine cold, protected, and actually tasting like wine. Whether you're headed to a picnic, a beach sunset, a hike with friends, or that well-earned post-practice unwind, it's wine for real life, elevated, durable, and made for moms who are always on the move but still know how to savor a moment. Check out highcampflasks.com and upgrade how you sip wherever life takes you. Welcome back to the Running Wine Mom podcast. I'm your host, Samantha Cieslinski, aka the Running Wine Mom. Today on the Running Wine Mom, I'm sitting down with someone whose energy could quite literally power a small city, Meaghan Murphy. You know her as the author of Your Fully Charged Life, the editor-in-chief of Woman's Day, and the woman who can find the yay in about anything. But today we're going beyond the headline. We're talking about navigating motherhood with intention, leading with joy in a world that doesn't always feel joyful, and her deeply personal journey as a breast cancer pre-vivor. Meaghan's story is one of electric optimism, resilience, and choosing aliveness on purpose. So without further ado, let's welcome Meaghan. Welcome, Meaghan.
Yay, thank you for having me.
Yes, and we met at the National Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Breakfast, and I loved watching you speak. And it is true, your energy really is as amazing as you are seen behind the screen.
Oh, thank you. I love real life I mean, I like people recharge me, so I love being around people. That
Yeah.
breakfast was really special.
It was. So we're going to talk a little bit about why you were there. But to start each episode, we have our wine, and win of the week segment. This is where we share our favorite bottle of wine or drink. We vent about something that's been bothering us and celebrate our recent victories. So grab a glass, take a deep breath, and let's get started. So Meaghan, what is your drinking? Yeah, the INE of the week. Take that breath.
So this is interesting. So I'm 50 and I'm in menopause. So my tolerance of wine isn't what it was, which makes me sad. Because
Yeah.
my cheeks get flushed and I feel like crap the next day. But I love Malbec. I am like, that's my wine of choice. And I was just away for my 50th birthday and I discovered pistachio martinis. There's no
What?
actual pistachio in it. It's like a science experiment. It turns green and smells like pistachio and is delicious. So I hope I don't have to go back to St. Vincent to have one, but I was like, oh my God, I love pistachio martinis.
Oh my gosh, I love pistachio. Well, I love the pistachio coffee drink. So I'm like, I feel like I would love a pistachio martini. So I need to figure that out.
So good.
So what is your complaint wine of the week? As someone who is always joyful.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'm having a crabby week. Yeah, so I'm a boundary boss, and sometimes when you're creating boundaries, you come off as a bitch. And I had a very strict boundary around someone wasting my time yesterday, and I came off as a real bitch, and it was an ugly situation, but really I was just protecting my boundaries.
Yeah.
My time is my non-renewable resource, and they went an hour over on my allotted time, and I was fired up.
Yeah, no, that is, and something that I have found this year is time is such a boundary. And I, just like you, are so busy and I schedule every hour of the day. And someone will say, okay, what are you doing on this day at this time? I'm like, nothing. But that doesn't mean that I am open to doing something. That is scheduled nothing.
But I also love what you started off the podcast, like we're going to talk for about 40 minutes. Especially we're busy humans, busy working moms, busy moms, like that kind of a time boundary or that time frame is really important to me, respecting that and establishing that and not wavering from that. Like just putting it out there and be like, this is what the expectation is. Yesterday, it took me to go to bed and wake up to get over it because I was so
No, I understand. Time is precious, especially when you have a plan in your mind and it kind of, then it unravels everything. So, what is your win of the week?
My win of the week is that my Emmy was delivered today. So I won an Emmy award for my from my reality show, My Perfect Day, which was a real passion project of mine. I got to play like a fairy godmother type host who made people's dreams come true. I didn't go to the Emmys because I was away for my birthday, but the trophy came in the mail today, and I'm like really excited for my kids to come home from school to see it.
That's
I'm
so
so
cool.
proud of it. Like
That's
so.
amazing. Yeah, as you should be. Absolutely. What a cool, was that ever on your radar that you would be an Emmy winner?
Oh, it's funny. It's like I put my guts into this show. Like I put my
Hmm.
heart and soul into this show. We did 6 episodes and it didn't get picked up or renewed because TV business is really, really tough. So I won a Telly Award and then I won the Emmy. And it just was like this really beautiful validation of that the work mattered. And that like it was good. Maybe the finances didn't work out or didn't get the green light I was hoping for, but the work was good. And that was really special to me because the project was like so like all my guts went into this project.
Right.
I wrote a whole Substack about it because I talk about how in the perma theory of wellness, there's the A is for accomplishment. And like,
Okay.
it's like moms and grown-ups, we don't often get gold stars or high fives or validation that what we're doing matters. Like no one's like, hey, trophy, you folded the laundry, or like gold star, you got dinner on the table. And you know what? Like fundamentally, we need some of that validation. And like,
For sure.
so for this trophy, this validation was like really meaningful to me. It was a good reminder that what we're doing matters.
Yeah, and it's so true. And I think that's one of the hardest things about parenthood is that you're like, so I guess the only way for me to tell that I did well in it is when my kid, what, graduates college maybe, or has their own family, or does success in their own way. I don't know, you know?
They go to jail, like,
Yeah.
I don't like, right? Funny, my sister has 4 boys and they're older, like 22, 21, 19, 18. And I like can remember her saying to me, like, the hard part about being a parent is it's like there's no A plus on the report card. Like there's no I passed the test. It's just constant work and hustle and effort.
Hmm.
And you never quite know if you're getting it right. And that's hard. That's
Yeah, it
hard.
really is.
You're exhausted.
Oh my gosh, that's so true. So, the Running Mind Mom, we also talk a little fitness. What's your favorite way to stay active?
So movement is like fundamental to my mental health. My movement has changed over the course of the years. Like I was the fitness director of Self magazine for 9 years. So I did the Self challenge and I made workout videos with Jillian Michaels. I've been a certified trainer for 20 years. I used to run marathons and I was a soccer player. I played soccer till I was 37 years old. And then my body changed and I hit menopause. I had a double mastectomy and I went from like really working hard and grinding to being very gentle.
Hmm.
Um, Walk a lot now. Walking is like core, whether I'm on the phone with my mom or listening to a podcast or walking my dog. Like that is pure mental health. I need the vitamin D. I need the movement. I never don't get 10,000 steps. I will like walk up and down the stairs or run kids if I don't get my 10,000 steps. It's like a non-negotiable. I do a lot of bar method, like just gentle, small movements that like taught me to slow down.
Yeah.
Really like just be present and get in the muscles and be uncomfortable. I like to be reminded of what it's like to be uncomfortable. I used to run marathons and it's like, I think I can, I think I can, I know I can, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like that. So I like bar method or SLT, which is like Pilates on crack. Workouts that
Ooh,
remind me that I can do hard things. I think it builds mental and physical muscle.
so true. And bar is that class, the first one I took was years ago, and I saw everyone with like their 2 pound, 3 pound weights. I'm like, I mean, I lift, I can do 5 pounds. What kind of and then I was like, I can use 0 pounds. I can use no pounds. This is insane. This is such a hard class.
It's funny, yeah, because it's those small repetitive movements.
Yeah.
And that was what was really, I'm almost at 500 classes now, but
Wow.
like having to slow down, like
Hmm.
recovering from my double mastectomy, which we'll talk about later, but that really taught me to slow down mentally and physically. And bar method reinforces that. Like
Yeah,
we don't
it's
have
so true.
we don't have to charge ahead. Let's be slow. Let's be mindful. Let's be thoughtful with our movement. And so that's been just like it's like been a real gift to me.
And I have a similar mentality to you where it's like, marathons, let's do as much as we can, get this many steps. And nobody does talk about how important it is to slow down and how good it is for us in our for our bodies to do that. And there's so many ways that you can still get movement and do it slowly, you know?
100%.
Yeah. So let's talk parenthood. What were you least prepared for in parenthood?
Well, I am one of those really fortunate people that never tried to have children. I can remember like looking at my husband 6 months into marriage and being like, oh my God, I feel like I'm going to throw up. I'm craving hummus. Holy crap. Let's get a pregnancy test. And then sure enough, we were pregnant and stared at each other at dinner for like 40 minutes speechless because we just didn't think it was going to happen that fast. Never really
Yeah.
had a man. And then I had another child 17 months later and another child
Wow.
15 months later. So grateful that I didn't have fertility challenges because I've had so many body challenges over the
Hmm.
years. I'm so grateful that my body was like, nope, we're just going to make the baby part easy. That was truly a blessing for me. I've watched so many friends and even family members struggle on the other
Hmm.
side of that. So like no complaints, but like pregnancy itself was something I was like absolutely not prepared for. Struggled a lot with an eating disorder as a teenager. I was hospitalized many times. And so, like, the whole idea of being pregnant, being out of
Hmm.
control in my body, I was very scared of what that would be like for me mentally.
Right.
And thank God I was able to manage it. Instead of it being this big, scary thing, I'm getting fat, it was like, oh my goodness, I'm growing a small human. I had purpose. And
Hmm.
therefore, it wasn't as challenging as I had feared. And I wound up embracing the process and loved being a mom. But the whole getting pregnant and being pregnant was like, what?
Yeah, before it even starts, you're like, wait, and I still can't believe sometimes that I'm like, I actually grew two children,
Yeah,
like a 3D printer. That's what I,
it's surreal, right?
it really is. It's
So great.
crazy. So after you had your kids, what do you think your parenting style is?
It's true. So my parenting style obviously evolves because now my kids are, I have a 15-year-old daughter, a 13-year-old son, and a 12-year-old son.
Okay.
And I think my parenting style has definitely changed as they've become teenagers.
Right.
It's this whole balance of I'm not their friend. I'm their parent, but I also want to have those kind of friend moments of bonding and connect, but also maintaining this role of authority, being a good no sayer. My husband is definitely the heavy. I'm definitely the softy where I'm like, okay, yeah, we can watch that show, but then you have to go,
Yeah.
err on the side of like, let's have more fun. Let's go on the trip. Let's watch the show. Let's stay up too late. And my husband does a better job of like regulating, creating routine, um, I'm a softie. I'm also like, as they're growing up, I'm like holding on tight.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I find I have some bad habits of like, I fold their laundry, I make their beds. Like, I have not fully empowered them to be as independent as they need to be because I want to take care of them so badly.
Yeah.
And my daughter's a sophomore in high school. That is
Right.
so terrifying to me. Like being her mom. I like taking care of her. So this is a very like strange parenting time for me where I'm trying to encourage them to find themselves and to be independent, but I still want a mom so hard that like I have to let go.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I used to send my laundry home with my parents when they would come to visit me at college. So, like, literally, they did my laundry until I think I moved out of the house at like 27, really. Like, that was what my mom just loved. My dad, I'd give it to my dad, he'd bring it home, she'd wash it, fold it, bring it back up to me, like, a week later. I'm like, this is great. And,
My sister her oldest is 22 and she's younger
mhm,
than me, but like she loves making them lunches. Like she'll pack lunches and like or food or grab paper towels and like bring it to college because she just wants to take care of them. I think definitely something in us that these are our babies and anything we can
yeah.
take care of them, we're going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm almost 40 and my parents still like whatever, they take care of me in any way they can. So I think it's okay. I think you're doing, the right thing for them. And I, looking back, I'm like, can you come over and do my laundry and my kids' laundry now, please? And my husband's too, maybe.
I'm like,
Um,
it's funny.
Yeah. So what's one piece of advice that you would give to other parents?
Well, so I think when I had little kids, we said, I would hear from so many people, big kids, big problems, little kids, little problems. And I think it's a bunch of crap. It's just kids and problems. So I think don't compare your problems to other people's. Don't judge your problems against someone else's. Problems are just problems.
Hmm.
And when it's hard and you're in it, like, just embrace that it's hard and you're in it without trying to say to someone else, "Well, my kids are big, so these are bigger problems," or "Your kids are little, these" I hate that. Problems are
Yeah.
problems. All of our struggles are real. All of our struggles are hard. Let's just acknowledge and embrace what anybody is going through and know that whatever you're doing is hard
Hmm. For
without
sure.
any
Yeah.
of what anybody else is doing. No comparison, no judgment.
Yeah. It's like people want to compete about how their problems are worse. And it's like, that's just
I call it
everybody's.
hardship Olympics, and I think
Yeah.
no one can compete in the hardship Olympics.
Yes.
Your heart is hard. My heart is hard. I don't even know the depths of your heart. You couldn't possibly know the depths of mine. Let's just all call it hard and give each other the strength and support to work through it together.
Right. I couldn't agree more. All right. Well, let's get into you. Let's start with you. You have such magnetic energy, as I mentioned. Have you always been this way, or did it come later in life?
So as a kid, my nickname was Grumpy. I wore like a Grumpy the Dwarf charm.
Yeah.
And my family called me Neggy Meggy. I had a really strong negativity bias. Like, I was a negative, angsty kid. I had like really big swirling motions. I'm an empath and I didn't know what to do with them. So I was just angry and miserable. And ultimately that turned into anorexia. So I started to starve those feelings away. I would numb all of those big feelings. So that lasted through my tumultuous teen years. And then, I mean, through inpatient hospitalizations, a lot of therapy. My best friend was also had an eating disorder and she passed away. So now that I have a teenage daughter, I like really understand the trauma of what I went through
Hmm.
in a different way. Like, oh my goodness, like little Megan really was in it. But through tons of therapy and hospitalizations and medication and working through like depression and anxiety and all the things, I became like a functioning human. I wrote about it. I won some essay contests. I wound up getting, I was on a TV special celebrating my scholarship with Don Johnson and Bob Costas and Trisha Yearwood performed. And I wound up then getting an opportunity to be an intern at YM Magazine, which was a teen magazine at the time.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my God. I forgot about that magazine.
So that kind of turned into, then I got an offer to help start Teen People magazine. It was the
Hmm.
teen shoot of People
Yeah.
magazine. And I was also an MTV VJ in the 90s. So I was sort of studying acting at Rutgers, doing all of this magazine work. And then in my 20s, I got a job at Cosmopolitan magazine where things really changed for me. I was given an assignment to write the 10 Secrets of Happiness.
Okay.
And this was back in the day when like there was no Google, like you actually had to call recruiters and do the work. And that is when I discovered the work of the forefather of positive psychology, Dr. Martin Seligman. And when I sort of looked at this perma theory of wellness and what he found was like,
Hmm.
what makes people thrive? Like he was sort of the first person to say, like, instead of looking at what's wrong with people and how to fix it, what if we look at what's right with people and how to emulate those traits? And so we
Okay.
have perma theory of wellness about the positive emotions and engagement and relationships and meaning and the A for accomplishment. So I sort of looked at that, wrote this story, and then realized, wow, there are things I can do to be happy. And I'm
Hmm.
type A, so I'm like, I'm just going to do those things. And I started moving through life differently. Okay, well, he says gratitude is the secret sauce. I'm going to learn how to get grateful. Movement is medicine. Community matters. Our relationships matter. So I really just started to build my life up in all of those areas and I
Hmm.
began to change the way I lived. I went on to Self Magazine where I spent many years, my self formative years, had my kids, got married. I was a service journalist for many, many years, then moved on to Good Housekeeping. And it was at that point that my father was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer,
Okay.
stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And there was a day where I was sitting with him in chemotherapy and he was like, "You got to write a book. Like, you're no longer
Yeah.
Neggy. Like, you've changed. Like, who is this person? I'm like, what? How did you do this? You got to write about it." And I sort of vowed to him on his deathbed, I'm going to write a book. And the next thing I know, I'm like finding an agent, writing a treatment, getting a book deal at Penguin Random House, writing my brains out while also, as was doing the executive editor of Good Housekeeping, and was able to write Your Fully Charged Life, which is sort of like a happiness handbook. I mean, it's
Yeah.
me taking the science that I applied to myself and kind of giving other people a chance to use some of those same strategies. And I'm very proud of the book. I mean, it worked for me. I no longer am neggy meggy. I can easily see the good in anything. I feel like I prioritize optimism and joy. And I have a full blown toolkit from like when the days are hard or something sucks. Like I have the resources to
Hmm.
right the wrong and get myself back on track. And then I've been the executive editor, the editor in chief of Good Housekeeping, Woman's Day now for 6 years.
Wow. It's like so many. I'm like, I
Yeah,
love the, I used to love subscribing to magazines in my like teens and 20s. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love hearing, about, and I still keep up with them. I just sometimes don't have the physical one, but the
yeah,
YM really brought me back.
yeah. Well, that was so. I mean, that was so fun. I had
Yeah.
the best time.
So if you were now describing your fully charged life in one sentence to your younger self, what would you say and how different is it from like what you actually live today?
Yeah. So I would say I have like a couple of things. I mean, I think I really believe like everything is always possible and that like optimism and joy aren't Pollyanna bullshit. Like it's just
Hmm.
a way to live.
Right.
I think younger Megan probably would have rolled her eyes at all of the same way my teenagers roll their eyes at
Yeah.
me.
Maggie would have rolled her eyes.
Like the reality is it's just much calmer. It's much more peaceful to live this way,
Hmm.
to like acknowledge and accept what sucks, but also not live there, not dwell there, not ruminate there, and to really kind of prioritize positivity and do micro actions every day that actually let me live fully charged, happy.
Hmm.
It feels good to be happy.
And so, what is one of your small changes that you made years ago that still sticks with you today that you feel like really helps you with your positive outlook on life?
So I think gratitude is really, really important. It's truly the secret sauce in life. If you find someone who's truly grateful, they don't have FOMO. They're not worried about
Hmm.
missing out. They know what they have is enough. They're grounded in gratitude. But for me, learning how to practice gratitude was tricky because for
Hmm.
me, when I first was like, okay, good, be grateful, I'm like, so I got to be a yogi with crystals in my pocket and
Yeah. No.
now and I'm so grateful. I'm going to write shit in my diary. Rah, rah.
Hmm.
Like it just didn't click. It didn't click. And it wasn't until I kind of fun filtered a gratitude practice that it stuck for me. And for me, when gratitude really stuck was when my father was dying. I had
Hmm.
3 small children. I was really struggling. I was having a hard time getting out of bed in the morning. I didn't want to go to work. I didn't want to face reality. Like I was struggling. And I started this practice called Operation Good Grief, which was this mission to find one thing that didn't suck every day. And that is literally how my gratitude practice started. It was like,
Wow.
get your ass out of bed. What doesn't suck today? And it could have been like heart foam on a latte. It could have been like the daffodils are blooming at the end of my walk. It could be I made it to the bus on time. It
Hmm.
was celebrating that one thing every day that didn't suck. I would take a picture. I would document it on social
Wow.
media. Social media became my gratitude journal.
Hmm.
And though, like, pausing to appreciate things that didn't suck
Hmm.
every day for 2 years rewired my brain.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
began to automatically not only see things that didn't suck, but to see things that were awesome and to notice them almost by accident
Right.
and to really kind of be like, wow, there's actually a lot more good than I thought. And I carried that practice with me after my dad passed for like another year. I mean, now I'm kind of, I mean, I just see good things and I'm so
Yeah.
grateful for that. I mean, your brain is like, your neural pathways, it's like a hiking trail. The more you walk it, the easier it gets to traverse. And I think like I just wore my brain down. Now it just sees good.
And I think that's something that people really don't look at a lot. And they hear it like, oh yeah, you can rewire your brain. Okay, whatever. Well, it's like any other muscle that you have. If you go to the gym every day, you're going to get stronger. If you look at happiness every day, that is going to come to the front of everything. And I feel that I can relate exactly what you're saying, because so many people have said, "Oh, you're always so positive. Why?" That's really what I see. The negative, what am I going to do about it? If I can't control it, let's look at something else. So when you maybe do have a day that you are, you don't feel it, the energy is low, how do you handle those without feeling like you're failing your own fully charged mantra?
Yeah. So there's lots of days like that, right? Like there's so many hard days. I think it's about having a toolkit. I call it a fully charged toolkit, and knowing that there are always scientifically backed and proven strategies that can inch you onward. And I think that's always the goal, is just to inch onward. It's not to be like, okay, boom, I'm happy. It's like, betcha there's one thing I could do to just move the happiness needle a little bit so that I feel a little less crappy. And for me, those are pretty straightforward things. I mean, I
Hmm.
love the science from Harvard about fresh flowers in your home.
Mm,
It's so trite and so basic, but I will go to Trader Joe's and I will do a flower haul and I will arrange flowers for 30 minutes. There'll be flowers everywhere. You can tell how bad my mood is if there's flowers in the, no, even put flowers in the bathroom. But just that act of like getting these fresh cut flowers in my house, arranging them, having them all in like, it lifts my mood. And it doesn't
yeah.
make, it doesn't transform my mood, but it lifts my mood. It eases my anxiety a little bit. It gives me this like good outlet. I know that I gotta make my bed. I never don't make my bed. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't control everything, but you can control the clutter and the covers. Like, I
Hmm.
feel better when my bed is made.
I agree. I do.
It's like dopamine dressing. I talk about
Yeah.
this whole, we dress up to feel up. What we put on our
Hmm.
bodies matters. Like, comb your hair, put on mascara, wear something that makes you feel good. Like, that matters. Like, it's the science of enclothed cognition. Your outfit impacts your mood. So
I
me, it means I don't really wear a lot of black because I don't want my life to feel like a funeral. I wear color. I have pink glasses. Like, I want to feel energized by whatever it is I'm wearing.
Yeah, and that is great advice. It's so true. And I'm thinking like, so many people like as we're coming into the winter season are like, oh, let me switch my black fall outfits for my black winter outfits. And I'm like, I always am looking for color, and it just naturally makes you, I feel like, brighter
Yeah, and it's
in life.
science, right? It's
Yeah.
science.
So let's kind of switch gears a little bit and talk about, we met at the Susan G. Komen breakfast. You described yourself as a pre-vivor. So having you took proactive steps around your breast cancer risk. Can you kind of talk about when you had risk and how you decided that you'd act in the way that you did?
So my mom had breast cancer twice. All the women on my mother's side of the family have had breast cancer. I had very dense breasts and I was really on top of my mammograms. I was always getting mammograms and then follow-up sonograms. I got a lot of breast MRIs. I had had some biopsies. I had some markers that we were watching. And ultimately my breast surgeon said to me, like, I think we need to do some genetic testing. This is now every 3 months we're looking at something. When we did the genetic testing, revealed that I have a check 2 variation. So a check 2
Okay.
variation, I didn't really know what that meant. I knew what BRCA was, BRCA1, BRCA2, so I kind of ignored it for a while. And then I just happened to be on a soccer field next to a woman who I hadn't seen in a while. I'm like, "Where you been?" And she was like, "I had a double mastectomy." I'm like, "Oh my goodness." She's like, "Yeah, I have this mutation called CHEK2. My mom had breast cancer and I decided to have a preventative double mastectomy." And I'm like, "Well, my mom had breast cancer twice. I have the CHEK2 variation. Tell me more." And
Right.
then my husband and I met with the genetic counselor, and my risk was pretty significant in the family history, the genetic markers, and like my personal history of scares and the things we were watching. And you know what? My husband lost his father to kidney cancer. His mother also had breast cancer. I
Okay.
lost my father to pancreatic cancer. So we don't really mess around with cancer. I mean,
Right.
my dog just died of cancer. Like we have way too much cancer. So I sort of made the choice kind of immediately, like we're just going to have this preventative surgery. So I wound up having a preventative double mastectomy 3 Octobers ago. So it's been 3 years now. And I've never looked back. I feel really privileged to have made the decision before my body made the decision for me. I saw
Yeah.
my mom go through it twice and how angry she was the second time. She was the first person to be like, "Go get him cut off. Get it
Yeah.
off. Get it
Get
off."
it.
"Okay, mom.
You're like, okay, sure.
I hear you. Okay."
Yeah.
But yeah, so and then it was, listen, it's a tough surgery regardless of how you're taking it on. I was so grateful not to have chemo or radiation and to be in a really good place now because breast cancer stinks and it's like one in
Yeah.
8 women. I mean, it's
Crazy.
rampant.
Yeah. And that's my gram was a two-time survivor and I, got all the testing done in my early 30s. But what I do a lot of work, one of my best friends had passed away of breast cancer. We were pregnant at the same time. She found out she had inflammatory breast cancer at 38 weeks pregnant and just watching her for 18 months struggle and then eventually pass away was something that I'm like, women need to, I don't know what we need, but I need to make it.
We have to be as proactive as humanly
Yeah.
possible and
Hmm.
be our own advocates because no one
Yeah.
is going to tell you to get genetic testing. No one's going to tell you or force you to get your mammogram. No one's going to force you to say, you know what? Do the sonogram, do the MRI. I'm not comfortable with those results. Like you have to be your own advocate.
Right.
For me, I always know in my gut when something is wrong, if I need to push harder. All our health is wealth. That's all we got. So like,
Yeah. And that's what you are a big advocate for genetic testing and prevention. Like, what is one myth around breast cancer prevention or genetic risk that you wish everyone would kind of drop?
it's funny. All you ever hear is, "Oh, like Angelina Jolie."
Hmm.
Yeah, like Angelina Jolie. I think it is absolutely like a gift to be able to make this decision. I think it's a scary decision. My sister has the same genetics and has
Hmm.
decided not to have preventative surgery. But
Okay.
anytime you can, for me, proactively make a choice and manage
Right.
something on your own terms, for me, it's like I was otherwise healthy.
Yeah.
I'm in a moment where I have good health insurance. I can afford to take the 6 weeks of medical leave. Like, what a gift, you
Yeah.
know? So I think it's just, if you can get the testing, if you have the family history, like be as proactive as possible.
Yeah. And for the listeners who are maybe scared or overwhelmed by their family cancer history, what's one question that you would encourage them to ask their doctor or one action you'd encourage them to take?
I mean, ask your doctor, like
Hmm.
have conversations. I come from a big Irish Catholic family and like
Hmm.
this time my mom had breast cancer, I'm not even sure she was going to tell us.
Right.
Like it's
Yeah.
like hush hush,
Yeah.
and you have to have conversations with your family, your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents, like understand the full picture of your health. Like it's it's not just you. It's like, I really was like, so and so also had cancer. Oh, and so also had cancer. Like that would have been great to know. I
Right.
mean,
I feel like that, yeah, that's as you're saying this, I'm like, I didn't even know my gram had breast cancer until I was like in my, I think almost 30. And I'm like, I need to tell my doctor about that.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was like that was like not discussed.
Yeah.
So I think when you can make your mess your message, when you can tell people about your story,
Love that.
next spark something in them. I mean, if I hadn't been sitting at this soccer field, I probably never would have made the choice.
Yeah.
I, oh wow.
I didn't even know that was, yeah.
Yeah, seriously, because honestly, your doctor isn't like they're not going to follow up with you. They're not going to
Right.
say meet with the genetic counselor. Like that's not. Unfortunately, that's not the way the healthcare system works. Like you
Yeah.
have to fight for yourself. You have to ask for the test. You have to ask for the follow ups. Like you have to be your own advocate.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you took those steps. And for everyone listening, hopefully they will take the steps as well. So, you have given us so much information about happiness and how to be healthy. But if your life were a movie, what would the soundtrack include? What songs would play when you walk into a room, and what song maybe when you kick back and relax?
So I like love anything that says lightning in it in any way, shape, or form. I literally will just like Google songs with lightning in the
Yeah.
word. So I enter a room to lightning,
Right.
and then Jack Johnson is like,
Yeah.
love Jack Johnson. I will bop around the house, cooking dinner, doing whatever, and then Jack Johnson is playing.
Awesome. And if every woman listening gave herself permission to do one thing differently starting tomorrow, what do you hope that one thing would be?
Pausing to appreciate one good thing, finding a yay in the day.
Love that. Well, I think that will be a great place to wrap it up. So that's going to bring us to the end of another episode of The Running Wine Mom. Meaghan, thank you so much for showing up with your honesty, your energy, and your tips on how to live a healthier life. Your story reminds us all that joy isn't accidental. It is something that we choose over and over again, even on the hard days. So thank you so much for coming on and joining us.
Yay. I loved being on the show.
As always, thank you for spending time with us today on The Running Wine Mom. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with a mom who needs to hear it. You can follow me on Instagram at the Running Wine Mom _ And Meaghan, where can the listeners find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Meaghan, Meaghan B. Murphy, and on Substack at Meaghan B. Murphy.
All right. Thank you. So thank you so much for joining us today. Remember, you're strong, you're capable, and you're all amazing. Until next time, keep running, keep sipping, and keep embracing the joy of motherhood. Cheers. And I will be back next Tuesday.